Dune 2 or Dune Part 2 pisses me off. Not because it's a bad movie, not because it's horrible, not because it's even mediocre. In fact, it's a complete opposite. It is one of the best movies I've ever seen. It is a genuine masterpiece in every sense of the word. When it comes to audio design, visual effects, cinematography, acting, I don't know, like every possible thing you would think of when it comes to filmmaking, this movie just excels in. And the reason I'm pissed off about it is because it reminds you, like, this is how good movies can be when the creatives involved not only give a shit but have the sense of vision. Like, there's a vision there, and there's like almost like a sense of passion to the work, which you don't see often in a lot of these blockbuster movies. And let's be honest, this is kind of what it is. I mean, it's definitely not the traditional blockbuster film, but this is Dune Part 2 is a $190 million sci-fi epic. So in a way, it is a blockbuster film, but it is one of the smartest, most thought-provoking, most well-crafted movies I've seen in a very long time. Had it been released in 2023, it would have had to compete with Oppenheimer. And I don't know which. I mean, I'll be honest, I think Dune Part 2 is better than Oppenheimer, but it just would have been crazy, because it really does. This movie does deserve all the nominations again. But going back to why I'm so why this movie pissed me off is because, and I already said it, but it's like we can do more. Like this, like after this movie, I don't think, and obviously we've had fantastic movies years prior to this, and obviously, but on the level of this movie, where not many films can be put up to the same standard. I mean, when you think of just the level of excellence Dune Part 2 managed to achieve, you think of like Lord of the Rings or the first Star Wars, just what it managed to do in terms of the artistry of filmmaking, like in every facet imaginable. I mean, from the first 5 minutes of this movie, I was so overwhelmed by what I was seeing, and just how Denis Villeneuve managed to craft this movie is downright insane. I'm a massive anime guy. It's hard to watch a bunch of anime nowadays, but I'm still I love my anime. If I want to make a comparison, I've always and I'm not gonna say that this is in any way similar to this specific anime arc that I'm gonna mention, but it gave me that same sense. It gave me that same feeling I've had of this. This is something that I don't think I'm ever going to get this feeling again in this type of medium. I had the same feeling watching Dune Part 2 that I did watching the Chimera Ant arc in Hunter x Hunter. And now Hunter x Hunter, in my opinion, is probably the best anime ever made. Part of that reason is the Chimera Ant arc and what that arc managed to do from a storytelling perspective, and how much every second and every minute of that arc managed to keep me invested and hooked. That same feeling I got watching the Chimera Ant arc is the same feeling I got watching Dune Part 2. Now, this is coming from a person who has just seen the movie hours ago. So, as of the recording of this video, of course, if this is me recording, this has just been a few hours. So, I'm still processing. This is my initial thoughts. This can change in about a month, who knows, but I doubt it. I honestly doubt it, because there are very few movies out there that get me awe-inspired by what I'm watching. There's very few movies that do that, and this is one of the exceptions for me that made, because there's a lot of movies that I've seen, a lot of well-crafted, well-made, incredible movies that I have seen that I just haven't really felt a certain way. I see it and I can recognize it's great and fantastic, but it didn't bring any emotion out of me like this movie did. And there's very few movies to do that. So for a movie to actually do that for me is actually very impressive. This is definitely not like Infinity War. Like how Infinity War is all the heroes come together and it's a bunch of hype moments, and yeah, there's there's a lot of great moments, character moments and drama and all that. All this is the action is so well done. The action is so well thought out, well written, well crafted. You don't you generally feel if they screw up even once, like if Paul screws up even once in one action sequence, like in one of the action set pieces, he's gonna die. It's a very Game of Thrones / Star Wars in the sense that it's a franchise that, like, especially this iteration, that takes you and immerses you. Like, you know how Star Wars managed to do that for so many people back in the 70s? This is that same level of immersion. And in terms of like the Game of Thrones comparison, there's a lot of political intrigue and just great character work done here that you don't see very often. So when you actually see it here, it's so just impressive. Anyways, after this movie, I'm glad Madam Web bombed. I hope we get, and I doubt it, but I hope this movie blows up, and I hope this movie makes $1 billion, because I want more studios to look at this movie as an example of how movies should be made and how movies should be seen as. What I'm saying, and here's the thing, it's like, because I'm seeing like all over my Twitter, all I see is Dune, because it's such a well-made film that when you get this type of movie, people are gonna want to come out and see it. And this is what I hope happens, because the last one I think made 400 million. I hope this like quadruples that, and it gets studios to really start paying attention to what audiences want. And it's not that we want everything to be like sci-fi epic or any of that. No, we want just well-made, well-crafted movies that look like something that's made for $150 million, because there's absolutely no way we get this movie and then just a year ago we get Ant-Man Quantumania. And Ant-Man Quantumania, like, I don't even know how much that one costs, but that one has to be like 200 something. Definitely far more than Dune Part 2, and that movie looks like a fucking Spy Kids 3D Disney Channel flop. Like, I'm not trying to be mean about it, but it's like, come on. Like, the standard, here's the thing, the standard has been raised decades ago. Dune Part 2 reminds us where that bar is, because a lot of these blockbusters, they've kind of hidden away that bar, and Dune 2 just managed to, like, you know, blow away the cloud or the fog that where the bar was at, and show us where the bar should be at all times. This is just my thoughts. If you guys were planning to go see this movie, go see it in IMAX, go see it 5 times, show the studios that this is the type of movie that you guys want to see. And here's the thing, like, I feel like that's what's happening. Like, Oppenheimer made like nearly $1 billion. Barbie is I think $1 billion. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Barbie's $1 billion movie. We gotta show these studios that this is the type of movies we want, so then we get more of these type of movies. Give me movies that are worth the ticket I pay to go see these movies for. That's my thoughts on Dune Part 2. Fantastic film. Go see it. Take your fucking friends to go see it. Take your mom, take your dad, who just take anybody. Go see it, enjoy it. I'll see you guys in the next video. I am currently writing the script for my next one, but this is just something I wanted to, you know, just release quick and just give my initial thoughts. I had a lot to say when it comes to the story, but I don't want to spoil anything. So yeah, go out and see it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.